Morning, everyone. Lux Capital here. Yeah, we're about 5 minutes away from opening bell, and I thought I'd record a video today. Today's FOMC, so morning session is all there is for me. Everything closes down at 1 p.m. as things will get pretty wild. So all I'm looking for today, if there's any kind of setup this morning, just a little guy, just a little something. Not sure why I really decided to make a video. Haven't made one in a little bit. Been really just super focusing and trying to come out of some drawdowns. So I also have a stuffy nose like I do every morning, so I apologize if it sounds like I got a tissue shoved so far up my nose and sniffling and all of that, but it's pretty standard morning procedure for me. So we're just gonna watch the charts here, see if anything happens. I am going to try to start recording everything that I do, really, mainly because I started a funded challenge with Apex. Right now I'm not on that account. I'm on my personal trade station account. And Apex is through Tradeovate. So if I can switch back and forth fast enough, Tradeovate's over here. If I put a star, does it go to the front? It does. Okay. Oh yeah, so I gotta log in every time. Let's move this over here so nobody couldn't see that. No trades have been taken on it yet. There we go. So, Apex account with Tradeovate. Let me pull up my... yeah, here we go. $50,000 account. It is the trailing stop loss, or trailing drawdown threshold, which I didn't necessarily realize right out of the gate. Not a huge fan of the way they do it. I probably would have preferred a static, but the static accounts were much larger than what I was looking for. But yeah, the trailing, I don't want to be on here right now though. Let's just go back to trade station. So what I've got here is two lines, one here at recent liquidity points that I'm waiting to be taken. As soon as they do, we'll look for a setup. But dollar was headed down, so I'm surprised, unless dollar shot up now, and nope, dollar's still shooting down. And ES is shooting down too, so that's not a great sign. I don't really like that when it does that. But yeah, we'll give that, we'll watch that for just a second here and see if it takes out this liquidity down here, and then we're gonna start looking for a setup. and it looks like we've taken that liquidity level. Put myself on mute for a second. Came back and my mouse was dead, so I had to plug that in really quick. So now that we've taken that, did we really take it though? The low is 4414. The low here is 441375. We took it by a tick. Man, I don't know if that is really worth. I mean, if we get a market structure shift out of it, well, this would have to close first for this to be the shift. Come on. If we get a shift out of it, then that's the setup. That's the plan. I mean, that's the model. But honestly, I'm surprised we came down first. Frankly, I was expecting we had come up in London, and we're bopping around up here. 8:30 even went up a bit with the PPI news, which was almost negligible entirely. But we haven't taken major buy side. We haven't taken the session high, so I really thought we were going to pop this and then trade down. I'm expecting to go down at this point. I had kind of actually thought Tuesday's high was going to be the high of the week, but it looks like London made a new high. It's very, very rare. Well, we still could go up. Usually the high or the low of the week happens on Tuesday or Wednesday. But with this high being made before New York Open, I'm kind of thinking that's going to be the high of the week. Unless FOMC goes doink, doink. We'll see. It gets pretty wild. So I've been expecting us to trade down. We've been bullish. This is the weekly candle, by the way. Posted up on any time frame I'm looking at. Weekly opens down here. We literally since Monday, since the open, have been bullish. We have not crossed below this weekly open line even once. We're gonna have to do that. So sometime this week, unless it's just one of those magically totally bullish weeks, which I don't know if I believe. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. Well, at least on the weekly, I don't think we're hitting any POI to super reject off of. Well, I mean, we're taking. I can't go very far back, but we're taking an August high. We've already done that. That's the only thing I could see us rejecting off of. So, yeah, I don't know. But I've been expecting us to go down, so. Oops. This isn't entirely surprising. Also, I do stay, the model that I have, I do stay on the 5-minute chart, or the lowest I stay is the 5-minute chart. Most of my analysis is done on the daily, hourly. Mostly the daily is just to see like a general kind of direction. Not even really a bias, but just really high time frame PD arrays and things like that, highs and lows. Then the hourly is where I really do my analysis. 15 minutes sometimes if I need to fine-tune a couple of things. I usually sit on the 15 and wait for one of my liquidity, just because I can see more, wait for one of my liquidity levels to be taken. And then I hop to the 5 and wait for a shift and an entry. But I do not touch the 1 minute anymore. And it's been It's been pretty good, actually. You miss a couple of things here and there, but missing something is fine. I mean, there's always the next day. Like, you're not missing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You know, if there's no setup on the 5-minute chart, there will be later. You know, it's like I said, nothing in the market's once in a lifetime. So it looks like we are considering that low liquidity grab. These wicks are pretty tall, pretty large. So we're just gonna pop over here, hopefully with some displacement. Maybe this is it. We had to take this first in order to, we've been going up long enough. We need to grab some fuel before we take that buy side. So we'll see. We'll do what some of my other friends do out there. Get a set of eyes up here, looking at that level. So what I need is a candle to close over that line. Doesn't have to be the first one. It's awesome if it is the first one. It looks like it wants to. It's tapping, 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 so we might get a big shoot above it. Just really bust through it. That likes to do that sometimes, but I just need a candle to close over there without wicking. And like if it wicked and then came back down here, no go. That's a no go. The fact that it's wicking now doesn't really mean anything to me. But we still got 3 minutes on this guy, this candle. So we'll see what it does. I also fully expect my model to not work today at all. In the wake of FOMC, I wouldn't expect anything to be normal as far as price action and the patterns that it has and kind of the rules the algorithm follows. It's gonna probably be a mess, but hopefully we can snipe a little something out of there. There we go. It's moved. Well, it's trying to move. Yeah. A little pop here, a little pop there. Let's go. What I don't like is this is quite a big range. Which means my stop loss will be huge. All right, we got a market structure shift. So we got to wait for this candle to close to make our fair value gap. We'll see what happens. It could totally run away without us, but as long as it doesn't take the liquidity up here first, then it's a valid setup. So we'll see what happens. Two handles. So if it were to come close here and then come back, unfortunate part is we're looking at a minimum 6 handle stop loss. If I want to go, yeah, I mean, I could go 1 to 1, a little more than that, 1 to 1.1. Not the prettiest. So that also means I can do 2 contracts for 2%, 1.78%, but I can't do 2.5 contracts. So that's what we're looking at. It has been really nice being on the 5-minute chart. For the most part, it takes 15 to 30 minutes for a setup to form. You can really know that the market's trying to actually move in that direction. Versus the 1-minute chart, it can be 3 to 5 minutes for a setup to form, and then your setup could pan out and be done in 10. Things can just happen super, super quickly. But the market doesn't spend a lot of time proving to you that it's trying to move the way it's trying to move. So it can, I've been struggling with the 1 minute. It'll go and look like it's doing something, and then it's the total opposite. And I just have felt like the 5-minute really shows you, like down, like these two, this is 10 minutes long of just wicking liquidity. I don't even know what that looked like on the 1 minute. Probably had all kinds of crazy stuff in here, and a good chance something looked like something, and then it just came right back down for more liquidity on that second candle. But we could go look at it. I'm just saying the 5-minute really helps me see things better. To each their own, and this works for me. So we got 15 seconds until that candle closes, and we got a valid fair value gap. And we're just hanging out. No other liquidity has really been taken. There it is. So that's it. Not a fan of the... There you go, you leggy. Not a fan of the stop loss, frankly. That's what the model says. Stop loss above or below the previous swing point. I just took it to the lower candle of the fair value gap. I didn't, and it's a tick more to go to the end of that lower candle, but price wants to come down there. It's too late anyway. Is that a little breaker in there? Does this count as a breaker? Perfectly overlapping that fair value gap. Sounds solid to me. Let me think. We did right below it, broke above it. Yeah, I do believe that's a breaker. If we take liquidity before entry, then we just switch to looking for shorts. We still have tons of liquidity. We have that liquidity point, that liquidity, all this, all of it. We've been bullish forever. So that's kind of why I've been thinking we're going down, which is why I thought we'd go up first and then down. So honestly, I feel like that's probably the way it's going to go. We'll probably take that out and then flip around and look for shorts. It is coming up on 9. It is 9:50, so we are in the macro to seek liquidity here. 9:50 to 10:10. We gotta. It'll swipe something. And then we'll be in silver bullet. So another relatively new thing for me is setting limits. I used to enter market only, and I'd wait for a price to come down to my entry point and see how it does, see how much drawdown it goes into, see if it starts coming back up and crosses my entry point again in the direction I'm looking for, and then I'd enter. And yeah, it would cause me to hesitate a lot. Can't click the button in the moment. So now I'm just setting limits, relinquish the control. Perfectly follows my model. Identify a rate of liquidity. We did that. Down below. Drop to the 5-minute chart. Wait for the market structure shift, which it did very with a lot of displacement. Look for that FVG and enter on it. There it is. Simple as that. It's very 2022 mentorship-esque. Also kind of unicorn model-y. It's not the prettiest setup. It's got a large range, you know, with the stop loss like that, but that's why we do 2%. I don't see anything that contradicts this really, other than well, I really don't actually. I don't really see. We've got like the worst thing in the world maybe is these are all equal. So, but it's small stuff. So I don't know. Eventually we'll be down there, but probably this afternoon. Technically, this little wick came below all of it, so let's see if we can come below the first fair value gap. So I think in the end of things, that was not in a discount. So the first one is definitely not in a discount. Second one is mostly, and technically my entry should be at the 50% line, so that I am entering at the most discounted price. Let's do that. Yeah, let's put it there. Either it reacts off the first fair value gap, never comes down, or it does. Either way, I mean, two ways it can go. Either it does or it doesn't. But again, this is what my model is, so if it works, awesome. If it doesn't, go look for the next one. And I should figure out, technically I should figure out how to take partials. I mean, it looks like it's reacting pretty good after that fair value gap anyway, but it's not something I've truly figured out with TradingView, is how to set partials properly. A couple times I've done it, I've ended up with like, I still have a random contract or something, or I somehow have a contract in the other direction. So things get kind of weird. Even if I stuck with my original entry point. It didn't hit. Yet, I should say. Didn't hit yet. Officially in the silver bullet hour now. But it's not really doing anything. We're just kind of sitting there wicking around. Which I'm not a fan of, but is what it is. We're close enough to that buy side, I don't see why you wouldn't just take that at least this first level. I mean, if you're gonna be here, if this buy, so this buy side liquidity level I think was on, did I get it from a weekly or did I get it from yeah, I think I got it from the ES continuous contract chart, and sometimes those numbers aren't super great. So like this could have already been that, but we're still looking for this sessions buy side is right there too, which is what this alerts for. So it looks like we're heading that direction. It did not want to go to that lower fair value gap. Didn't even tick the breaker. Just filled the first gap and off we go. So we'll be looking for shorts as soon as it gets up there. If it ever does, this thing is slow today. Not totally surprised, but it's still slow. Also, part of me thinking it's as slow as it is because it's trying to make, oh, see, now she wants it. It's trying to make the weekly high right now. As soon as we take this, I really wouldn't expect another high to be made unless FOMC wicks crazy, which it does do that. So here we've taken that and that, but not yet this. Honestly, I think that's enough liquidity taken to invalidate my order. Oops. Which is totally fine. So what we'll look for, yep, a swipe of that. Super duper. I'm going to take this line off so I can see what I'm doing. That has been taken. And now we wait. Waiting for this to be a market structure shift is actually, this is a swing low. That's still a long ways, so I'm hoping before 11 that it will take this, come down, do a little bobbly bob, make me a higher swing low up here, and then I can enter off of that and target this green liquidity point right there. Also, yeah, okay. Yeah, so we're gonna keep waiting. If you don't have patience, man, you will not be a good trader. It's hard. I don't want to sit here and wait. The only other buy side I had marked out was way up here, which I do believe I said somewhere, my Discord maybe, that FOMC would wick above those two. I didn't expect London to travel so bullish, but I don't ever think about what London's gonna do whenever I talk about like an end of day review sort of thing. But I certainly thought today FOMC is gonna swipe that, but we could get there before. Another healthy liquidity grab. Look at it. It's liking that. I haven't put a trade on it yet, but like I said, I am using Apex trader funding for my funded account evaluation. I'll be making videos about that too. What I want to try to do is place my entry on my personal account and on my evaluation account. I'll just be doing starting anyways with a 2% risk on those trades, and then if I make wins, you keep doing 2%, but if I lose, I'll cut it down to 1 and that kind of thing. But that's what I'd like to do. So while we're waiting for this to do something, if you guys are interested in where's my text box? This. If you guys are interested in a funded account challenge of any kind, highly recommend trade somebody else's money instead of your own. Use that coupon code, you'll get 50% off, which is a hefty discount. And I do believe you get 50%. So the Apex does, oops, I should probably 50% off. Does monthlies. So like you sign up and it's, I don't know, with 50% off, I think it's like $90. You sign up for $90 on a $50,000 account. The numbers vary based on the account you choose, but the monthlies are also 50% off too. So by them doing that, that means you don't have any time limits. You don't have to make the profit goal in 30 days. Take as long as you need. Takes a whole lot of pressure off, and I really like that. So, and I'm not going to blabble on about it. If you're interested, apextraderfunding.com. I could probably add that up here too. I'll just leave this up in the corner. Not going to bother you with it. apextraderfunding.com. Use that coupon code for half off. Put it up there. Obviously, it helps me too. It's my coupon code. But if you like what you see here, any support would be greatly appreciated. So yeah, there it is. We'll just keep on awaiting. Whether or not YouTube allows me to, I will know after I upload this, but enjoy the music. It may or may not be there when I upload this, but if it is, enjoy the music. We'll just hang out, See what this thing does. We're waiting for shorts at this time. I thought for sure we'd have a swing low there and allow me to enter higher up. Because if you think about it, hang on, if it comes down, oh yeah, then I can draw my fib from there to there, but how does he like to do it from there and do a projection like that? That's massive, bud. So I'm gonna need an entry up here somewhere. But we'll keep on waiting. She's coming down a little bit, but it's also hitting a fair value gap, so it might have a little bit of trudging to do to get through it. We'll see. Filled that fair value gap. Are we continuing higher? I don't know. Technically, it's hitting a fair value gap after 10, the first one. Draw on liquidity could be up here. Very respectable 5-handle stop loss. Allows over 15 handles of room to go. It's not my model. It's the opposite direction of my model. But it's the silver bullet. I hate when things like that happen. One model is one direction, one model is another. Or the other direction. So, does this pan out? Maybe. Sweet for those people trading silver bullet. I bet that's the way it goes. You know, for them. If there hasn't already been one. Most people take silver bullet on the 1 minute. Should we venture? So 10. Yeah, the first one was here. Going north. The second one, which more fits it, it took this liquidity, broke down, and had a fair value gap here for a silver bullet short. I bet that's the one. I don't know, this one's kind of the same. Took this little short little liquidity and this fair value gap in there, traded up, shifted up, had a fair value gap that it tapped, just didn't go very far. Wouldn't have stopped anybody out yet. This is maybe, I don't think that's an order block, but I don't know, it's tough. Honestly, this looks more convincing to me for a silver bullet south, which is great because that's the direction I want to go to. So again, things are just a little mixed today. Like I said, I perfectly expect to not have a trade today. Also seeing as I only have until 1, and I hate the idea of entering during the lunch hour. We've been taught to not to. There are ways to trade it. I'm not a fan. So technically, I've got an hour and a half left, and usually after 11, it's kind of poopy anyway. Although sometimes you wait through 10 to 11 for the silver bullet and nothing happens. And then at 11, it takes off from something like a delayed silver bullet. I still don't believe that time is as precise as the rest of the concepts. Yeah, she is moving. But if that closes up there, this is a new swing low we can wait for. I mean, I might be waiting for the wrong direction. That's fine. That's my model. If some of you guys analyze this the other way and get something out of it, great. But the accuracy of this model with its creators backtesting and my own backtesting and forward testing, I'm confident in it. So anyway, I was saying time, I feel like, is the least accurate piece, or lower accuracy from the other pieces of the concepts. There's just been so many times where I've seen things pan out just before or just after. You know, it's kind of a gray scale to the time. So silver bullet, you're looking for it between 10 and 11. Try 9:50 to 11:10. It's also a popular time for macros, the 50 to the 10, so you'll get to work that in there, and you know what I mean? It's just sometimes at 9:30, well, when you're waiting for the 9:30 opening, it'll be like 9:25, and some huge displacement candle takes place. 9:30 opens, and it just keeps on ripping. You're like, why did that happen 5 minutes early? I don't know. Time is a little bit grayer, I think. I also could be naive as all hell, and this is totally just not a thing. So, back to waiting. Enough rambling. Oh, one thing I wanted to look at just for shits and gigs is down here. If there was, so it swiped this and we're waiting for a market structure break and a retracement after it swiped below this level. Was there anything on the 1 minute? You know what I mean? Just a look, just a glance. Where am I even going? Okay, so that little guy. Yeah, by a freaking tick. By that little guy. There was a tiny one, so the shift was not until here. Oh, not really. Top of the shift. I would have had to come down here to something in order for me to want to take entry. But if you were risky enough, maybe. Entered on that fair value gap. 8-point stop loss for a 1-to-1, I guess, would be all I would have done. Or all you would have gotten. I don't know. Nothing I am salty about missing, that's for sure. So yeah, back to waiting. It looks like that fair value gap here, I'll mark it out, at least so far, is panning out okay, halfway decent. That's the other swing low, so just go with 5-point stop loss. I mean, yeah, you'd be up 3 points right now. 3, 4. There's 4 points. All you need is 5. You break this high right here, and you got a successful silver bullet trade. There you go. For those of you that took it, way to go. Grabbed your 5, maybe left a runner, maybe targeted that buy side up there. I'd wonder what other people have for any further buy side targets. Or, yeah, what they targeted other than that high. We're really at the highest point we've been in almost a year. So the only reason that 44.41 is up there is from, actually I think that's from, so my trading view plan doesn't go back far enough on the charts to see much of anything. As you already saw, I looked at the weekly and the monthly. It doesn't go back very far. I think ICT talked about 44.41 because he has that top plan that can go back really far, and saw that as a level. I don't remember what it is, some high somewhere, whatever. So I wonder if other people have that marked out too. In which case, hopefully you took a partial and left a runner, because it's not looking half bad for going up there. I'm still waiting for a turnaround. That's my model, that's my plan. I'm sticking to it. I don't like that. Technically, that's a market structure shift. Technically. But I really didn't want to see them be perfectly equal. Also, see that line? I wonder what that means right here. Perfect. 5 times. 5 times. Maybe that means we're not going higher. Maybe it means we are, because everybody's got their stops around here. Thinking, what is that called? Thinking resistance. But yeah, I don't like also here kind of basically having 3 equals right there. I think we're going to wait. We're going to keep it here. If I'm wrong, I guess that's fine with me. I mean, with 2 minutes left, there's probably not much more to say for the silver bullet hour. That little 5 handles is all there really was, in my opinion. Yeah, because that entry was 955. So again, gray range. You could have entered off of this one for silver bullet. I don't know where you'd put your stop, because down here would be a bit large. I think I already framed this. 1-to-1 would be the best you'd really get at 8 handles. Or that other one up here that was actually after 10, where you'd just, if you had a perfect entry, you would just get 5 handles. So now that that's over, some of the ways I've seen it go is 11 o'clock ticks, and now we get active. The silver bullet just hasn't been super great lately. At least, I mean, the time window for it anyway. I wasn't really paying attention, but technically it's a new swing point here. Halfway decent one. I don't know what's going on here, though. I mean, we got 6 touch points here at 44.30 exactly. Part of me feels like they're, well, I'll use a YouTube safe term, blocking. Putting up a wall here before FOMC. I mean, this isn't great either down here, but this is hilarious. Like, you know for a fact, as soon as brokers close and stuff like that, this will be swiped real nicely. Please don't tell me this is going to be the 7th. Okay. I knew we'd pop above it. I figured it'd be stronger than that, but if we had a 7th freaking wick at that exact level, I would have just... But what's the significance of it? You get a 2-tick pop and that's it? Or what? What are we doing here? For anyone who's holding silver bullet, you might have a chance. frankly, I'm not too confident that it's going to go lower right now. Well, hope you enjoyed the fast-forwarded price action. I think that's going to call it a day for me. I mean, at the most, what's going to happen here before I have to shut down anyway is it's going to go up a few handles and take that 44.41. And if it doesn't, then there's not much left that's going to be possible for me. I got 20 minutes, so it's got to make a market structure shift, create displacement and a fair value gap, return to it, enter off it, and then trade away in 4 candles. So, maybe something could happen during lunch. Sometimes the lunch hour will take out some of the morning liquidity, which means trade down in this instance. But it's okay. Honestly, I got things to do. I got to edit and put this video up and other things to do today while FOMC does some crazy shit. So I'm not going to watch it or have a video on it. There's going to be a bunch of other ones out there that you guys can watch. So I'm going to try doing videos more often. We'll see how that goes. I'm not a huge fan of making them, editing them, talking a lot. So we'll see, but that's the idea. I'd like to try to make at least a series of videos to catch my funded trades and just kind of document that and what have you. I'll likely be very transparent. You'll see my personal account. You'll see my funded account. You'll see all my trades, my numbers. I have a spreadsheet. You'll see that. I kind of like that idea. I've been watching a couple other YouTubers who've been doing it and just show you everything, show you how it's going, show you the progress. Come along with me and watch. So I think I'm going to try to do some of that. But for now, I'm going to sign off, and I don't have any kind of fancy saying or anything like that, but we'll catch you guys next time, and thanks for checking it out. We'll see you soon.